While I was doing my research for this topic of friction, I came across a quote by Ernst Fischer that really resonated with me. He said, "In a society of decay, art, if it is truthful, must also reflect this decay. If it wants to hold faith to its social function, art must show the world to be changeable and help to change it." I get goosebumps every time just thinking about that. I believe, as a progressive being, that our purpose here on earth is to take the torch passed on to us and to take it farther than it's ever been before. To not only push the boundaries and the development of culture, but also pass on the legacy from our past, to improve upon our way of life. I moved to Charlotte a little over 10 years ago with a deep hunger to be a part of something bigger, to play a role in this community, my new home. I jumped into any project that would have me, anything that felt like I was carrying this torch. From assisting to directing, I immersed myself into the development of Charlotte's new culture. If you've been in this city for any matter of minutes, you can tell that we are under construction. We are a new city, one of the fastest growing in America. And although we were settled in 1755 and played a huge role in the independence of this country, 75% of our population growth has been within the last 50 years. That's pretty new. And with this growth comes a redefinition of our identity. So it leaves a question on everybody's mind: who are we? And what is our cultural identity? I'm here today to share with you some of the things that I've discovered working on a few projects in hopes to inspire others to take action in the development of our community. I'm the type of person that does the complete opposite of what I'm told, and the complete opposite of what other people are doing. My family, my friends, and even my business partners can attest to that. Somewhere along the way, somebody dared me to be different, and I might have taken that a little too close to heart. So several years ago, I was approaching a project with a friend where we wanted to do just that. We wanted to do something completely different and change the way that people approached food here in Charlotte. It was an underground supper club called Cheshire Dinner Society, where, thanks, you're making it so much easier. So we asked our participants to trust us, to be vulnerable, to open themselves up to new experiences. So without telling them where they were going to be eating, what was on the menu, or who the chef was, we filled the seats for people that had an open mind, and only the adventurous palate was welcome. This social experiment was something that was really exciting because it created an atmosphere unlike anything we've ever seen. It transported people out of Charlotte into this environment that had such a magic to it, where they were eating things like crispy pig ears and teriyaki beef heart, something you would never see on a menu here in Charlotte. But not only were they indulging in this incredible culinary experience, they were also making new friends and conversations that lasted well beyond those moments. You see, the experience that they were having was something that really stood out, and it wasn't happening in Charlotte at that time. A couple months ago, I had the chance to travel to Toronto, a new city that I'd never been to before. I had 48 hours to discover what this city had to offer, this melting pot of the world. I wasted no time. I jumped in to see what the breweries had to offer, their coffee shops. Bring me the food. What can you show me? And I was definitely impressed. I went on to the food markets, to a baseball game for, let's say, an inning, and then onto an historic concert hall, and then washed it all down with a good old cup of poutine. And although I had an incredible experience, I was left with a really great insight that brought me home to wonder, like, if we played tourist in our own backyard and changed our routine, I think we'll begin to see how much that this city has to offer. If we break out from our normal goings and started seeing what's new and vibrant in this city. Once we let go of expectations and open ourselves up for these experiences, really amazing things start to happen. So a few months ago, I was invited to the Blue Ridge Mountains in Virginia to build an effigy, a rising phoenix that would later get burnt at the highlight of this music festival. Our purpose was to build something that created an engagement with the concert goers. So we, at the design, created a chalk room for people to leave their worries there on the mountain, and then would later get burnt for its big moment. What we didn't expect is for people to really interact with this piece of art, both on a physical and verbal way. We also discovered that given the chance, people will write the craziest stuff in the craziest of places. By Saturday night, this thing was covered from top to bottom, side to side, from tail to head, with just the most intriguing conversations, whether it was the hate of an ex or the love of a lost one. Again, we were left with just being completely inspired by creating the conversation. And it gave us this really beautiful insight that we have the opportunity to create here in Charlotte something that really engages on the community, that starts to develop our identity. For the last 7 years, I've had the opportunity to work with some of the most talented creatives in and around the Carolinas, a project that started as an answer for a need. This culture initiative was a platform to showcase the work of grassroots artists here and to draw them into a community. When we started, we dug right in, creating showcases in art galleries, to nightclubs, music venues, and even into a private loft. For the first year, we gave the artists an opportunity to showcase their expression and to hope to draw them into an opportunity of selling their work with the Charlotte market. After the first year and an incredible response, we started challenging them and started creating concepts that got them out of their comfort zones and started putting them into finding a new voice. Once we saw the artists really react, we knew we were onto something. So we started crafting our events to more of an experience, not just for the artists, but those in attendance, where we started planning out and developing the flow of the event to the point where you walked in the door, we hit you with wow, and we stimulated you up into the point of you going home, sending Charlotte home with a sense of pride that they had something unique, something that no other city had. What started as an initiative became a mission, filling the gaps of what Charlotte truly needed, and then standing out to help us form something that was very much us. When you take your mission and turn it into a purpose, amazing things start to happen, and a cultural identity starts to form. So I leave you here today with a challenge to stop attending and to start supporting. To stop showing up to events and start showing up for events and finding out how you can take part in your community. To stop looking across the street at what other peoples are doing in other cities to see what's trending, and to be original. Be something that Charlotte can be proud of. Because once you listen to your city to see what it really needs, the magic starts to happen. The more unique we make our efforts, the closer our new city will get to having its own cultural identity. It's in this way that we all can start carrying that torch. Thank you.